Hey, how's it going, my friends? Welcome back to my channel and my thoughts on Visible by Verizon, a prepaid company owned by Verizon and offering some pretty good stuff here. And so I re-signed with them earlier this month and was testing them out on my Google Pixel 10 because I wanted to test the Pixel 10's modem. And since I have Google Fi, that's obviously using the T-Mobile network, so I wanted to, try using something with the Verizon network. And I did so. And you know what? For the most part, on my Pixel 10, being on the Visible Plus plan, which is 35 bucks a month, things have been fine. Connecting to the network has been fine. Unlimited premium data, fine. Streaming video and such. I mean, it's great. It's great. Even uploading content. If I edit on my phone and I upload it from my phone on the go, it's fine. Everything works great. I just wanted to make this video just kind of talking about Visible and do you have to go with the Visible Plus or Visible Plus Pro versus being on the base, which is 25 bucks a month. So that's the whole point of this video today, because when I sit back and I think about it, because currently right now my Visible line is connected to my Pixel 9a and it's working just fine. The thing is that I started thinking to myself, like, is it absolutely a necessity to have to be on anything higher like the Visible Plus or the Plus Pro? Because there's some perks that you get with them, and yeah, I'll be glad to just kind of discuss that, talk about that here. When you compare, from the base to the Visible Plus to the Visible Plus Pro, right? With the Plus Pro and well, let's start off with the Visible Plus, right? You get unlimited premium data on the 5G ultra wideband network, right? Which is, obviously, speaks for itself. Anyone that's had Verizon that's done speed testing and stuff like that will tell you that at times Verizon is very reliable and the speeds are phenomenal. But it's not just the speeds in itself, because you can still do a speed test that maybe does like 350 megabits per second on the download and 100 megabits per second on the upload, versus a T-Mobile line that does like a gig and a half on the download and like 200 megabits on the upload. And you may think that the T-Mobile one outclasses, the Verizon one, but the Verizon one tends to have better network quality connection, that it's presenting things faster than the T-Mobile one. So it's all about network quality as well. I mean, you have to take those things into consideration. And so you have the ultra wideband access. You have the high risk spam, robocall blocker and smartwatch service for 10 bucks more, and streaming up to 1080p HD video quality, because they do throttle your video playback, depending on which plan that you're on, right? You have the hotspot, which is unlimited hotspotting. You can do that, and it's pretty cool. You got the international, talk and text in Canada and Mexico, the global pass. You get, $15 off Fios home internet. If you have that, then, having a visible line of service gives you a discount, $15 off your Fios home internet if you have Fios. So you look at that and you're like, that's some pretty cool features, to add on, to be given the moniker of being called Visible Plus. And then you got the Plus Pro, where you get basically all the same things as Visible Plus, except your streaming capability for video playback goes up to 4K ultra high definition. So you have that option to stream in 4K when you're watching videos. And then of course, the mobile hotspot speeds is you get more speeds on the hotspot cap. You get all the international perks, and you get the global pass and the Fios thing and all that stuff. And then you look down at the $25 plan, so that's where, I really want to kind of just focus on here. It's like unlimited talk and text on Verizon's 5G, 4G LTE network, and you get the high risk spam and robocalls blocked, and smartwatch service, it's like 10 bucks. Streaming video playback up to 480p standard definition or DVD quality, whatever they want to call it as. And then you have, unlimited use of your phone as a Wi-Fi hotspot. But the $25 plan caps your hotspot speed at 5 megabits per second, right? Which is still good enough to open up emails and stuff like that. You're still able to stream YouTube videos. You're just not going to be streaming in 4K off your IoT connected to the hotspot on your Visible phone. And you got the usage of Visible in Canada and Mexico, but no additional international perks. But you still get the $15 off Fios home internet. You still get that as an extra on there. So it's like, for just only paying 25 bucks, is it a hindrance compared to the other ones? Like will you experience things, to be super bad? And I can tell you guys no. I've been on the base $25 plan. And even though when you do a speed test, you're not getting up to 1,000 megabits per second on a download, maybe you're being like as much as like 200 megabits. That's plenty for what you do on your smartphone. That's plenty to, browse the internet. That's plenty to stream video. That's plenty to even live stream from your device. If you wanted to share your experience, you want to go live on Instagram, or you want to go live on YouTube or Facebook or whatever it is plenty for that. So, the visible base plan at 25 bucks a month is not something that I would tell people to kind of count out. If you're not so overly concerned of having that much data download speeds, because maybe you don't even do that much stuff as far as downloading and stuff like that, and really all you're doing is just checking social media and stuff, you could have a phone service plan for 25 bucks a month that is fully unlimited, which is a lot to say because there's a lot of other competitors out there at the $25 price that doesn't even match the amount that Visible gives you. And the overall thing with Visible is that the connection is deprioritized, which again, deprioritization does not mean throttle. Okay, throttle is where you reach a limit and then you're slowed down. Like you are slowed down. There is no, well, you're slowed down for times of congestion, but your speeds will return. No, you are slowed for the rest of your build cycle. That is throttle. Deprioritized is that your speeds will remain the same as it was before the deprioritization started to hit. It will be the same. It's just when you go into a very active area and the network is superly congested, you will be slowed down in that time of congestion. Now, there are people who have gone to very packed areas and experienced no slowdowns, even though they were at a football game, they were at a baseball game, they were at a rally event, or these days protests, and there are a lot of people there and they didn't experience network slowdowns. So Verizon's network showing to be very capable of holding a lot of people on it. So in my opinion, if you need the extra perks, if you're traveling outside the country, if you call to a lot of people outside of the US, then the higher tier plans obviously make sense. If you need, faster hotspot, then the upper plans would make sense. But if you don't, if you're just an average everyday daily user of your smartphone, it's just social media, it's just photo uploading, it's just watching content to surpass the time, then the $25 plan, it's not a bad option, and you save money. That's the thing. You definitely save money on that. So yeah, I just thought I'd let you guys know.